We SoFi. We're talking SoFi. SoFi. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tin Invest. Today, we're going to be talking about a company that's been on my radar for some time now, but I never really gave it the real look. But that was until I visited their new stadium. Well, not really their stadium, but the stadium that they bought the naming rights to. That's right. Today, we are talking about SoFi. So like I said, this company came on my radar when they got the naming rights to the stadium, which the Chargers play in. Yeah, I'm a huge Charger fan. Go figure, from all the Phillip Rivers pop-ups and stuff. And just to prove it to you, here's a video of my room. So yeah, I love this team, and when I saw that SoFi got the naming rights to the stadium, I decided to take a little bit of a different approach. See, what I did was looked at the price of Qualcomm stock when they got the naming rights of the old Charger Stadium. And let me tell you guys, Qualcomm grew like a lot. Like a lot. From 1997, when they got the naming rights, all the way to today, they have grown almost over 5,000%. Now, correlation is definitely not causation, but maybe there's a trend that wherever the Chargers play, like the stadium named after them, that company grows. I mean, one thing to note is SoFi can afford to get their name up on this mega billion-dollar stadium, so maybe that's somewhat telling of the company. And let me tell you, I visited the stadium for Chargers training camp, and wow, like that stadium is unbelievable. It is definitely a one-of-a-kind experience. I mean, here, check out these videos I took when I was there. Now, among having the naming rights to the #1 stadium in the world, SoFi is able to offer different amenities to its consumers through the stadium, such as VIP entry, access to private lounges, and even 25% cash back. Okay, so SoFi has the naming rights to this really cool stadium, but that still doesn't answer anything. What is SoFi? Well, SoFi is the future of banking. They're a company that's focused on fintech. According to Google, they're an American online personal finance company. SoFi provides a suite of financial products that includes investing, personal loans, student loan refinancing, auto and home loans, credit card, and pretty much all banking, which is run through their mobile app and desktop interface. SoFi is built on the mission to help members achieve financial independence. They're advertising on the slogan, "Get your money right." And they plan on doing so by tailoring to every member's unique needs, essentially helping them borrow, save, spend, invest, and most importantly, protect their money. And the company takes that last part pretty seriously, as they should. SoFi provides 24/7 security, and the FDIC insures up to $1.5 billion of your money. But what is it that makes SoFi so special? What makes them different? Well, that's what we'll talk about in this next part of the video, the competition. SoFi faces competition from all over, from the old school legacy banks like Wells Fargo and Chase. And since they're getting into investing, they face competition from the Robinhoods and the Schwabs. They literally, let's not forget, they're a fintech company, right? So they face competition from Square and PayPal. They're facing competition from all ends, and that's because they're creating this all-in-one experience for banking. The company's key point of differentiation comes from being this omni-channel all-in-one bank. Essentially what it looks like is they've built the millennials banking. They focused on making everything convenient and fast. They claim that they're the fastest way to do everything, from opening an account, borrowing money, depositing checks, etc. Among that, they offer a slew of different tools, such as a credit score calculator, budgeting calculators, investment news, as well as education. But so far, the biggest benefit of them all is that SoFi has been able to put all the stuff I've talked about into an all-in-one, easy-to-use interface. Their main goal seems to be to just get your foot in the door, essentially. Just have you open a SoFi account. From there, they're confident that you'll start using their different tools and features within the app, thus making the acquisition cost per customer using their stuff like minuscule. What I'm talking about is it would cost them pretty much nothing for somebody already banking with them to start doing their loans through them, or somebody who's already doing loans through them to start investing through them. Like once you're on the app, they essentially feel like they can hook you with all their other stuff. And well, this plan seems to be kind of working. For instance, 65% of home loans through SoFi came from existing members. Now, I know this part's called the competition, and I didn't do a very good job breaking down the competition. But that's because, I mean, dude, could you imagine how boring this part would have been if I was just breaking down Wells Fargo? I don't know, they're a bank. What do you want me to tell you? I'm not going to sit here breaking down Wells Fargo. That's why I chose to talk about what makes SoFi special compared to these banks. I figured this approach would be a lot more entertaining for everyone. Now, am I a SoFi user yet? No. But the key word here is yet. I mean, the more I read up on this company, the more I want to give them a chance. And well, I plan to go to a Charger game or two this year and check out Herbert. So having this front of the line pass and getting 25% cash back, I mean, that's not something to complain about. Okay, that's enough about the competition. Now let's get into the next part of this video, the financials. So how does SoFi make money? Well, it starts with members. They need members, obviously. And luckily for SoFi, they currently have over 2 million members. But the company sees the potential being so much more than that. Currently, the top 10 legacy banks, those boring ones we talked about, well, those hold 50% of consumers' accounts. So in SoFi's eyes, 500 million accounts are up for grabs, leaving the door open to a lot more potential for SoFi. And well, the company has good reason to consider these accounts potential because in the last year, they've seen 75% year-over-year growth, and they expect an additional 75% growth after this year. I mean, I already see them pushing more advertising and commercials and whatnot. And think about it, a Super Bowl is going to be played at their stadium this year. So when the announcers say, welcome to SoFi Stadium and SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl and going to LA SoFi for the Super, blah, blah, blah. They're going to look up dude, okay, what is SoFi? Just like people probably looked up, what is Qualcomm or what is blah, blah. That's the whole point of having your name on a stadium is to get people wondering who you are and looking and getting your name out there. Now, I'm not one who can really break down bank numbers and how this company profits, but some other key numbers mentioned by SoFi was that they have over $59 billion in funded loans. They have $22 billion in debt paid off and over $100 million saved in the vaults. Now, like I said, I don't really know what to make of those numbers. Now, a number what I do know what to make of is the market cap. The market cap for SoFi is sitting at a little bit over $12 billion. While its competitors, like the big legacy banks such as Wells Fargo and Chase, those guys are sitting well over hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap. So yeah, you might be overpaying for SoFi in the short term, but in the long term, the potential is definitely there. Okay, now time for the final part of this video, the pros and cons. For this one, let's start by talking about acquisitions. In April of 2020, SoFi surprised the world by announcing an acquisition of Galileo. Galileo is a banking infrastructure solution company that offers a payment processing platform and a variety of different services for digital banking companies. They essentially empower most emerging banking platforms. Now, this pro seems to be pretty in character for SoFi. What I mean is it shows how SoFi is constantly looking to improve and looking to better and grow their platform, even if it means acquiring new companies. Now, the next pro I wanted to talk about for SoFi is the fact that 50% of Americans use more than one bank for financial services. So maybe SoFi is looking at these guys to try to offer them an all-in-one solution so they don't need so many different banks. Or another way to look at it, still in a positive view, is that 50% of Americans are willing to open another bank account and have multiple bank accounts under their name, which means maybe they'll be willing to try SoFi. As for the cons, and I guess the biggest con of them all for SoFi, is they were originally made public via SPAC. So SoFi at the end of the day will always have the word SPAC tied to its name. It'll always be a SPAC, so when SPACs go down, SoFi will probably take a hit as well. Overall, this company looks like it could be a very interesting potential investment. But then again, I could just be really biased because of the stadium. So always remember to do your own research and never take what I say as advice because I am not a financial advisor. Anyways, that's all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and stay along for the ride. I promise to be posting interesting breakdowns each and every week. And by the way, once I get up to 250 subscribers, I plan on posting a full portfolio reveal. So if you want to be a part of that and see what my portfolio looks like, again, be sure to subscribe. Anyways, guys, that's all for today's video. Always remember, the time is now.